Hi again, it's Laura from Hyperstamper, and I am so happy to tell you about my seventh journal this week, going up for the week of August 14th in my series. This is one that I previewed in my junk haul and this week, and it got a lot of attention. So this one it's quite large. It's 9.5 by 6.5. So it's a really good size, and it's called the New Age History Readers. And look at this image of this beautiful woman, arms open, doors open, and this of course is book 6. A super spine, the original spine and backing. All I did with this one is add a little bit of black chain here, and it's on a pin so you can remove it if you prefer not to have it, and a little bit of lace at the top. But I thought it was just stunning all on its own. So let's take a look through this really beautiful antique book. This is from 1925. It's got a little bit of inscription here and the original pages, and here's the date. And look at this beautiful first image, when Britain greeted Belgium. It's just crisp and in such good condition. So it stays with the book forever. And in this page here, I put a little pocket that I made out of an antique book and added this 1935 photograph that was pulled from that haul that I did last week from my son. And he gifted me these. But look at these 4 beautiful women, and they're not in costume. This is what they were wearing. So the book was made in the 1930s, but I believe this photograph is actually from the anywhere from 15 to 25. Early 1900s, and they made a little tag here of antique paper and stamped thankful on there. I use my junk journals for gratitude journals, but I'm learning about so many wonderful things that women do with their journals. And I just put a little antique paper on this page here because it was just plain old type. Just give you more journaling space, and a beautiful vintage table doily here. A 1950s bingo card that I tucked into this pretty little corner tuck, and I made a little extra journaling space here underneath, and just some clusters here. This little piece of leather here is actually from a little book that fell apart, and I couldn't even bear to throw that away. That's on a vintage atlas page. And again, more clusters down here with my antique scraps. And this came out of a 1920s student's scrapbook for school project, and her project was on chickens and fowl. So I thought this was adorable. So this one has the white geese and the rooster on the back. Whoops. So that's kind of fun piece of history there. And a nice children's page here. I love how the color over the years kind of seeped into the page from other pages. And this is from the French Almanac here. And that is the book here, well, one in the series. And again, if you want to purchase one of my journals and you want a special extra page with a special date on it, just let me know when you check out, and I will include it at no extra cost. Yeah, because I am that nice. And here's a log cabin image, which is really cute, from the children's book. And this came from an Abraham Lincoln souvenir book from Washington in the 1950s. So that's just tucked into there. And this is just a cute little vintage stamp, but I kept it like this because it had some wonderful writing on the back. And of course, Olive is such a lovely old name. And the inside of the envelope is quite pretty. So I couldn't bear to tape it down, lose that. There's one of those lovely Pearl Shop receipts from my little collection there. And I turned the other side of this doily into a pocket. And this page here is the geranium lady. Look at this lovely image. This is from 1915. A lovely ship here. And that was from the 1915 book, The Girl's Own Annual. And I got lots of pages in here to use over the next few years, I would imagine. So I get to share all these lovely images with all of you. And again, you can make special requests for those as well when you check out. That's Canadian birch bark there that I added, and a vintage stamp. And this page here is a music sheet from 1920s and a children's craft book. And this is the vintage book jacket called A Whale Boats, and it had fallen off the book and I couldn't repair it, so I just made it into a page. And inside here, I turned it into a pocket and tucked in this wonderful ballroom dancing page. And this one's from the waltz. So you can not only journal, you can learn how to waltz. That's right, I said waltz twice. Another one of those children's book pages. And this June 1921 music sheet. This had fallen apart in the collection, so this is how I found this, and I couldn't bear to throw it away, so I just made it into a little page topper. It's a lovely mom and her little girl. Isn't that sweet? This is a dictionary page, French dictionary, and in 1926 blank ledger page on top of an antique book page. And this here is from the 1902 Currier and Ives plate book, and this is a plate from the book that I turned into a pocket and added this pretty antique book page of a Victorian girl, and that fits right into that pocket there. And that is adjacent to this 1945 dictionary page, and a little bit of blank space here from the Chez New book, and another one of these lovely color plates from the 1950s Polish embroidery and ceremonial costume book. Is that stunning? I just love the images there. Another Chez New page and another dictionary page for us. And this comes from the early 1900s American Garden book. Just another little cluster here with some scrap crochet. And in this little pocket here, it says, "Make birds touch wings." Isn't that pretty? That's another one of my Watchman's clock dials from the early 1900s, Munderlock and Company. And then two vintage playing cards. One's Niagara Falls, I believe it's from the 70s, and this one we can't date, but my guess is the 50s or 60s. Really good condition too. So they stay there, and that's from a 1928 Billboard magazine. And it's wanted burlesque people. So we're looking for all kinds of things: magicians, burlesque, jugglers, actors, singers, dancers. It's so much fun to read through that book. There's another one of these wonderful 1920 ledger pages, and if you look at it, hold it up to the light, you can actually see the watermark in there. Isn't that fun? And another tag that I made, a children's book page image, and another antique book page there, which is a quite old and special, just a little cluster here, and even this pocket, the sweetheart pocket here, I made out of antique paper. And on this side, I've tucked in from where I live a half hour outside of Toronto, and that is from the 1930s. I can tell by the font there. And then this is a lovely image, magazine page from the 1950s. This one here, McCall Needlework. Look at this lovely sweater this lady's wearing, and look at these women. I just love the fashions from I was born in the wrong decade. I would like to have lived in that decade. I think that would have been an awful lot of fun. I think, maybe not. Okay, don't mind me. Another 1926 ledger page here, and this is from the 1955 Theatre Arts magazine, and that's Cyrano de Bergerac. That's a really cool picture, full page picture there. Tim and Jerry, not to be mistaken with Tom and Jerry, and that's a children's book page. Oh, look at this pretty little squirrel image. I almost kept that because I am in love with squirrels, very much so. And here is one of those French pages here that I've turned into a journaling page for you. More clusters. Look at this, wanted medicine axe. So those guys who would, try to get you to buy their potions and lotions. So much fun. I hope you enjoyed that. It's on Etsy now, etsy.com/shop/hyperstamper with a capital H. The links are below, and subscribe so you can see them before they hit Etsy. Bye for now.